Welcome to Real Love, Real Stories TV and podcast, a platform for sharing love stories and for finding hope. I'm Kanu, I'm the host, and you are listening to episode 11, and this is part 2. And if you haven't already listened to part 1, I really encourage you to. But first, let me ask you a question. When you're being intimate with your partner, are you really connected? Like, do you really look them in the eyes, or do you look to the side? What do you do? Find out for Tommy and Jenny how they connected in a really deep, meaningful way while being intimate. And you get to find out how they met and how he looked at her and he said to her, "I want your mess." And in this part 2, they get to tell us how they make their relationship, their long distance relationship work. Enjoy. So I wanted to hear a little bit of some of the things. I know you started to talk about how you Skype a lot and spend a lot of time together. Are there, for the listener out there who might be in the same situation where they're doing long distance relationships, what are some of the things that you guys do that makes it, work and worth it? And how do you get to know each other, I guess, in those times that you're apart? We try to, though here lately it's been kind of hard because we've both been really going at it with what we have going on. My son just recently graduated from basic for the Air Force. So I was gone for a while to go visit him. She was in Italy visiting her cousin for a while. But generally we try to at least once a month or so have a date night. We don't always succeed, but
yeah, but that could look like, watching Netflix, or we'll both go to Trader Joe's and get the same meal, and we'll sit down and have the same meal so we can feel like we're together. Or
we watch the same show. We actually will count it down, so we are watching it at the same time.
Yeah.
While we're on Skype, so that way it's as close to being together and doing something as possible.
We have that. There's a book of questions. There's an if book that I'll say pick a page and a number, and I'll flip through and we'll ask each other questions. And the questions are typically like, if you could have any one person, past or present, living at dinner, who would you pick? Like questions like that. So we go back and forth with that. We've done some really creative things too. Like
you have to.
I sent him a bunch of cards, which was really cool. This is a great idea for long distance relationships. There was a set of cards and it says, "Open me when you're sick. Open me when you're missing me.
Open me when you need a hug."
Yeah.
And what she did was she took a string and measured. She traced both hands, cut them out, drew nails on them, and then got her actual arm length and made the arms the length of her. And so they're hanging in my bathroom. So if I need a hug, I can actually just take them and wrap them around me.
Yes, it was 2 hands connected by a string.
Oh, how awesome is that?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Or if he's going through a rough time, open me whenever I'm having a bad day. And it's just like a long letter of words of encouragement to get him through it.
Open me when I'm mad at you and you don't know why. It was one of them. I love that. So you created these cards, yourself, and these are your own words?
Yeah, absolutely. And so each one has an open me when, and you just add your little things in there. If there was one that says open me when you're sick, and I put aspirin in there. And just little things like that. So when he's feeling a certain way and I can't be there for him, at least I can be there in some regard. And it gives him the opportunity to be closer to me whenever he needs to. So
I love that. What a very clever idea. And the idea about going to Trader Joe's and buying the same meal, and he's cooking there, you're cooking there, and then you sit down together at the table on Skype and you share a meal together virtually. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, we always have every meal together. She may eat before I do, or I may eat, because there's an hour
time difference. She's an hour ahead. But we do questions at mealtime. She does it with her kids, and I do it with mine. Mm-hmm. But we always make an effort to be a part of each other's questions. We don't always get there, but a lot of times it'll be, we try to eat dinner together, and it's not really a date night because it's kind of
it's a family night kind of like thing. But we always ask, the two questions that we ask are, what are your favorite part of the day? And what are you most grateful for?
Oh, wow.
And so the family really gets a chance to connect and see, kind of what happened, because I don't believe families really connect, and our families have a difficult time connecting because we're so far apart, but at least we get to hear about each other's lives.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Yeah, it's, listen, long distance relationships aren't for everybody. And in the same breath, I will say, I didn't think they were for me.
Right.
And I would wait.
I would say
forever for you. So I think
I would say long distance is definitely the hardest relationship I've ever been in. But at the same time, I think it's the most rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally because
100%.
of you. I don't think it's the relationship, the long distance part of it. I think it's you ultimately.
Yeah.
But I think it makes you, you can't just pop up. Like what most people take for granted, realize is a gift. Yesterday she went to go pick up a coat for her youngest. And she's like, do you want to go to the mall? No, I don't want to go to the mall on Black Friday. But it was an opportunity to go run an errand with her that you don't get to.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let's go. And we're sitting there and she's like, we're stuck in traffic. We're in New York. So, traffic is crap. And she's like, you know what? I was getting frustrated. She goes, there's no one I'd rather be stuck in traffic with. And it immediately changed my position. Because like, you're right.
Oh, wow.
Most people, you're stuck in traffic and they're like, great, you're here with me, but we're still stuck in traffic. Instead,
I'm happy to be stuck in traffic because he's in the car with me.
We don't get to do it.
You don't get to do that every day. Yeah.
No, not at all. And so that
I actually was excited that I got to buy feminine hygiene products for her. Because that's not something that I get to do.
Yeah.
Some other guy's going to be all pissy.
But you know what he says to me? He says, I can't wait for the day that you call me up at work and say, hey, babe, on the way home, can you pick up a gallon of milk? Like, that's what we're looking forward to, is that conversation. That's what he says to me. And so it's interesting because I really have learned to enjoy different aspects that I always took for granted.
Yeah.
Our relationship. And so, when we first see each other, when he gets off the plane, we don't even need to touch each other or anything. Just being in each other's space is enough. I know that sounds completely crazy, but I could just look at him and he's in 3D as opposed to 2D. And so that is enough for me just to be in the space with him. It's really cool.
To smell, or, the taste of her lips when we kiss for the first time. It is a gift to go through the struggles that we do. I'm grateful for them, but at the same time, they suck. But, but the thing is, ultimately, at the end of the day, whenever I'm here and, we're in year 10 of me being here in New York, and I start to get, gosh, she's always on my ass. I can actually turn around and go, you know what? I'm lucky. I'm lucky.
I'll just put him on Skype again. Send him upstairs and put him on Skype.
Right. So how long is the countdown now to where you guys will be together in New York?
3 years. 2.5, actually. We're getting to 2.5.
Okay.
Started at 6.
Wow. Well, you're getting close.
We're on the backside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the wedding happening before you move to New York? Tell me, or how's that gonna?
2020.
2020.
So, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Do you have a love story, or do you know somebody with a love story? If so, shoot me an email, kanukayi@gmail.com. Please go to my YouTube channel, Real Love, Real Stories Podcast, and subscribe. And also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Real Love, Real Stories. Till next time.